Thank you, Matthew, Dr. Cobra Walsh. Sorry, it's hard to sometimes put Dr. Cobra as your middle name. Surprising your parents did that too. While I'm babbling about nothing, Jason's handing candy out. Kind of feels creepy saying that, like a bit. Hey Jason, you gave me some candy? Oh, that's real nice. Why don't you give me some? Oh no. Well, that's not very nice. In the meantime, after thanking Dr. Cobra and thinking that Jason's going to be throwing candy at me, I want to talk about Ryan McCarthy. Now I'm going to say this very slowly until Candyman gets back. Ryan is a writer, a reader, and a lover of all things beautiful. Sorry, that's supposed to stay together. He's a lover of all things beautiful. Anyway, I think maybe the most interesting thing that I'm thinking about him is he tends to ask questions that shouldn't be asked. Kind of like living in West Michigan as a child, like Ottawa County. I'm sorry. Anyway, if everyone could put their hands together, Ryan McCarthy.
Thank you very much.
Tell me when you're... Yeah! Tell me.
Hi, welcome to the Grand Rapids Consciousness Revolution.
Tell me when you're ready.
Good. 11 years old, I was an altar boy, brought up in a Catholic community, not in the schools. This is when I was still innocent enough, still believing what I was told, close to a community of love, but still removed from the practicality to the real world. Not just due to the fact that I grew up in East Grand Rapids, but did that change my perception of the words that you're hearing? This brings us 8 years. I'm in prison, age 29, in the 10th year of my incarceration. Out of whack, had been for a long time. Alcohol, drugs, confusion about my sexual orientation. But it's still me, I'm still that person. I'm still Ryan. But does this change your perception of the words that you hear from my mouth? Fortunately, the bullshit stopped a few years ago. I've been very fortunate. I opened up my eyes, heart, and soul, and remembered that there is beauty everywhere. In connection, we find freedom. Connection with ourselves, with others, with nature, food, honest communication with children, and establishing a pure signal flow with all that we come in contact with. I step out of my house, I look left, I looked right, and after a very radical shift in perception, I now look at the world in a very different way. Outside of my house, I can see the telephone lines, the chemical trails from the airplanes. If I look right, I see beauty. The moon through the through the trees. Hey, this guy, no, you, no, this guy. Well, guess what? They're the same guy. Blue tie, red tie, left, right. It doesn't matter. Surely we all understand that these two are not the only options. It's not enjoyable to live by the lesser of two evils motto, but we must continue to seek answers and always question the status quo to find the real truths. Our chains are being pulled and it's time to stop. TV is a babysitter. It's being used by the government and other nefarious organizations on you, just as it was used on me when I was in prison. It's mind control through adverts, telling us we are all fat and ugly and must change who we are. We also believe that the quality programming is exactly what we should be doing with our time. That is not the case. 30 seconds of TV causes the brain to begin to produce alpha waves, putting you in a very susceptible state. Alpha waves affect the limbic system, which is largely responsible for developing long-term memory and is involved in decision-making, reward-seeking, and addiction. Studies show that the time spent in front of a TV is akin to smoking opium as far as your brain is concerned. Get a job, go to work, get married, have children, follow fashion, act normal, walk on the pavement, watch TV, obey the law, save for your old age. Now repeat after me. I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. There's fluoride in the water, people. This is dangerous stuff. In 1945, Grand Rapids became the first city in the world to add fluoride to the public water. The calcium builds up in the soft tissue, therefore hindering glands' abilities to produce natural chemicals which help regulate our system. This includes the pineal gland, and it hurts with melatonin production. Heido is a Japanese word meaning vibration. Vibration is the intrinsic thing that allows all matter to occur and exist on an atomic level. Dr. Masaru Emoto conducted Heido experiments with water crystals and photographed the results. This crystal was exposed to the thought of thank you and is beautiful and complex and clear. Now the highlighted area here is our pineal gland. This is our third eye. It helps us to guide ourselves through our physical life and assist us in reaching the stream of consciousness we we integrate into when our physical form expires. The pineal gland gets its name from the Latin pineus, meaning pine cone. The Vatican in Rome has a very large pine cone statue, very publicly displayed in its courtyard. Millions of people see it every year, but few realize that the Catholic Church puts the symbolism in plain sight as a tease, as a joke, as a reminder that they have knowledge of something that even the 1.2 billion Catholics in this world do not have. What is it? It's freedom. This pine cone is one of the many natural occurrences in which we see the expression of the golden ratio, known as phi. The closest us humans have come to being able to represent this perfection is with the sequence of numbers known as the Fibonacci series. This sequence also plays into the branching of leaves, the arrangement of leaves on a stem, and on and on. This here is a representation of phi, perfection. And we're able to trace this line back to its source and allow ourselves a deeper understanding of the necessity of dissecting events, interactions, and the life experiences down to our core. I'm running out here, man. Beauty abounds. It's everywhere we look. The freedom we seek does not come lightly. We must continue to question and conquer our fear. That is the only thing in our way, and that fear comes from us. We are in control of our reality, only us. We always have everything we will ever need right in front of us. We just need to look around. More beauty. Look, I have found my place. I am free. I am no longer in my way. My ego has been shed, and I incorporate joy, passion, desire, drive, and love into everything I do. There is no place for fear. Fear does not fit into a free existence. Removing fear and focusing only on love removes society's nonsense, mindless opinion. Both of these statements are true. How do we explain it? Only we create our reality. Your reaction to anything is a choice, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But you made the decision to come here to Stella's tonight. It was your decision. But what you hear, what you take from all this could be a surprise. Ultimately, only you decide what you do with your 24 hours. There's a gentleman who goes downtown to festival each year and holds these hateful signs. You may have seen him down there. He's an older guy. I went down there last year and stood next to him for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. We had some interesting discussions, to say the least. This is the flower of life. It's a symbol of sacred geometry. It's another guide to get us all back to the truth, through the acknowledgement of beauty and perfection. We must not allow others to negatively influence us. We must push back. We must push harder. We must not fear. We must not allow ourselves to be subservient. We must not allow ourselves to be passive. And we must not continue to stand in the line that we are told to stand in. Goethe, none are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe that they are free. Life begets life. Our existence allows other existence, and that truth should lead us to the realization of our own omnipotence. And I urge you all to question the status quo, evaluate your life, and evolve as you should. Shed your fear, and come see me afterwards.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan was a great example of what Pecha Kucha does for me, which is